very bad feeling about it.
I got a bad feeling about this.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I've got a bad feeling about this. I have a bad feeling about this.
I have a bad feeling about
I have a very bad feeling about this. I've got a bad feeling about this.
For what it's worth, I've got a good feeling about this.
Punch it, Chisel!
Welcome to I've Got a Bad Wookie About This.
Yeah.
That was not me, and I thought the previous episode, my Wookiee impression was pretty good.
The last one was pretty good.
That wasn't bad. That was more like,
We've got an actual Wookiee in studio with us today.
yeah, boy.
We got a special guest, Cobra Dad, in the house.
What up?
You know what it is. You know what it does.
See, Dad?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, the host of The Weekly Habit Unlimited.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And co-host of Hoodcast AF, the
Yes.
#1 action figure podcast, hosting the Bad Boys, which is pretty much all of us anyway. So
yeah. So today, and you know, Cobra's got 2/3 of his audience in studio with him today. So
too bad we didn't have the other three.
Face to face.
yeah,
It's like a fucking signing and shit.
yeah.
Hey, I think I've seen you somewhere before. Yeah.
Do you sign tits?
Yeah, why not?
Sure, I would too. The man
Yeah.
tits are out though. I'm not gonna. Well, I'd probably do it because like they love it. So
Hey,
much.
money's money. $20 is $20.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm not tripping, bro.
It's just a Sharpie.
I would have signed those tits at Charlie's show. The blue hair.
Those tits.
I want to check them out at least.
Well, yeah. So you can't sign them without I have to really inspect
Like
this.
cup them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no. Well,
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of I've Got a Bad Feeling About This. I'm your host, Chisel. With me, as always, is Jonathan the Fallen. And as you heard, we've got special guest Cobra Dad with us today.
Yeah.
So, I think today we're gonna kind of combine a couple different things. So,
All right.
Recently our good buddy Big Mac, he's putting on his convention
Big Mac
coming up next month. So he announced one of his guests.
Wait, was he at the recent Star Wars celebration in?
He was not.
Japan?
He did not show up.
Too expensive, right?
He sold his ticket.
But
So-
it was like, did he sign his own ticket? Because
don't
he's
know.
Big Mac.
Yeah. So what he said was, when he sold it, that the proceeds were going to his charity.
The Human Fund.
I
right?
see for life.
I see for life. That's the fund, man.
Where we're gonna sell off your shit after we cherry pick it.
Cancer children eat shit. Star Wars is my game.
Yeah.
Did they got cancer on Naboo?
I don't know.
They got you just hang out in a Bacta tank for a while. You're good.
They got
got-
those water joints, so you'd be
Yeah.
all right.
They got free healthcare, maybe.
Where do they get Bacta though? Is that the fluid? The
Yeah.
Bacta? Did they
Yes.
get it from like a bantha? It's
I
like
have-
bantha fluid.
Maybe.
They
I
might
have
milk
no
one-
idea.
Bantha cum, I'll tell you.
They milk
I
one of
think
those
it is.
those things, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone.
So he announced one of his guests to be Star Wars Theory.
Star Wars Theory. So he had a YouTube and all that shit.
He's got a YouTube channel. I'm a big fan of it. I watch it. So there was a little bit of controversy around it.
Really?
So some people, don't really like this guy.
Star Wars
And-
Theory?
Yeah, some people don't like him, and they backed out of doing the convention.
Because wait. Big Mac is there. Not there. He sold his ticket, but Star Wars Theory is going to be there, or was there in past tense because Star Wars Celebration already happened.
Yeah. So we're talking about Big Mac's convention.
The
The
Big Mac, that's right.
ICCCCCC. So,
ICC, we walk the mambo.
yeah. So Star Wars Theory was supposed to is going to be a guest there, and once that was announced, there was it was the Tennessee Vintage Star Wars Collectors Club. They backed out.
The TVCCC.
Yeah.
A
So
lot of C's.
they backed.
I'll tell you, it's a lot of C's.
The timing was very,
No dudes. I mean, all dudes though, but tons of C's.
Yeah. So the timing was, kind of a coincidence. they backed out, and some people said that it was directly because of Star Wars Theory.
But it could have just been
This
just
is
because.
this is a guy that Star Wars Theory.
Star Wars Theory. He's got a YouTube channel. So he's Canadian,
Okay.
so I'm not going to hold that against him.
Yeah.
But he does he does Star Wars content. He
Okay.
started off by doing, covering like old comics and books and stuff like that.
He is Canadian. His head's not connected to his jaw, so it's just he's weird.
Yeah, it's
I'm
just
not
flaps.
your buddy guy.
This is tradition. So
So, he would do lots of videos going into the lore of Star Wars and stuff.
I'm pretty sure I watched a ton of these, like in the early days of me just watching YouTube.
Yeah.
not YouTube itself, but just a couple years ago, just sitting at work watching,
So
and finding shit.
He
But
does really good videos, and he talks about all that stuff. And then when the new shows come out, he'll do watch parties and stuff. And he's got 40,000 people on his live
He
stream.
goes into the comic books, the lore and stuff to explain like the new Disney content and everything else. So it really like packs a punch, and it really like helps you out. You can just watch one video and everything
Right.
that leads up.
Okay.
you know?
So like
Okay.
when in like the Book of Boba Fett, when the new Wookiee came on, Black Chrysanthemum.
Yeah, that
he
was
had
fire.
yeah he had covered his whole backstory before, so you could just go back and watch that, and you can get all the information on that character.
okay.
And it kind of makes sense, like where he's at in his life on the Book of Boba Fett and his decisions,
Why he's involved.
yeah,
Exactly,
Yeah.
and like I said, one of his videos
why he has certain weapons, why And does Disney stick to that, or they change it a little?
They
bit?
change
And he'll
some.
talk about it.
So, but like I said, his videos cover all that kind of stuff.
So it's
And
pretty cool.
It's really good, really good content, and that's what he started
So
off
what's
doing.
these other assholes' problem?
So, like when
That
the
he
new
knows more, and people hate other Star Wars people are really fickle.
so when
Fickle, bro.
when the new shows were coming out,
It's a big word, man. I just started it.
Fickle.
yeah,
It's like a pickle.
that's a real word.
Yeah.
All right. So when the new shows were coming out, he would do like the live watch parties and stuff, and then afterwards talk about it. And he was really critical of the new Disney stuff.
Everyone is, right?
Everyone
Who
is.
is it? Yeah.
So of course people start attacking him when he says, "Dude, this is bullshit." It's no, you're a misogynist. You're they hit him with all the ists.
You don't like
isms.
female-led stuff. You don't like Andor because it's boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
I would just be like, all right, cool.
Right,
So-
but
No
you're
doubt.
You're not a. I'm saying you're a huge Star Wars collector. So let's paint the picture for Cobra. Like he loves Power of the Force.
Yes.
I'm not a huge Star Wars collector, but I fuck with Star Wars heavy.
Yeah, heavy. You know a lot of shit.
All right, yeah.
So, but that's the thing is like you like the comics.
Oh, yeah.
and you've always been into that.
Yeah.
So, and that's where he got his start, and he got a huge following from it. But when he started critiquing the new stuff, you've got the people who basically
Woke
simp.
fools.
Yeah, the dudes that simp for Disney.
Yeah.
They're they go after him. They start coming after him and being like, "Oh no, you're just a misogynist. You don't like women."
But that's
you
what
know,
Disney
and
was
all this
saying
stuff.
anyways, and that's what Disney was telling these shills to say anyways.
Exactly.
Disney didn't have to tell them to do that. They were already doing it. Backing Disney because Disney gives them more views, more everything.
Exactly.
More like
they get
hey,
they're favored by Disney.
you get a
Yes.
free spot at Celebration maybe, or your fee is less.
And it's a part of that-
You get a host
It's
or
a part of that agenda shit
Yeah.
where we have to accept
So-
all that shit.
Right.
So a lot of people were coming after him and shit like that. There were YouTube channels that were specifically attacking him, and shit like that. And he was like,
Damn,
dude,
bro,
he
this shit gets deep.
And he didn't back down. He was like, fuck no. And every time someone would say something, he'd be like, dude, that's bullshit. Dude, you guys all watch me. But he would be like, if this is bad, I'm going to call it bad. So,
Yeah, everybody's entitled to their opinion.
yeah, exactly. And, people just didn't like his opinion. And I never, ever heard him say anything, negative. I never heard him say anything negative about gay people or women or anything like that. Like people try to say.
I don't think any Star Wars person did. It's just that's
No.
how people attack people nowadays.
Yeah, they
you know?
pull that card every time.
So
And,
He-
and when it's like, everybody's racist.
he had really,
I think your Mandalorian hot dogs are here.
I think so. Hold on.
Did you order the blue milk?
They're
Yep.
from Galaxy Adventure, whatever the fuck that shit is. How many credits is that?
3983.
3983 credits. All right.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right.
Oh, no, it's just the last 4 digits of my phone number. So if you can figure out the rest, you can call me and talk shit.
I wonder if Matt's listening.
Yeah. All right. So, he'd been making this, content for a while and stuff was pretty popular. Well, then he also did a fan film called Vader Shards of the Past.
Oh, he did that?
That's his video.
And he spent a lot of money on that and got a lot of help with that, too.
Oh, yeah. So he spent...
Didn't Disney shit upon that? And
Kinda. So he spent like $100,000 of his own money doing that.
It was a great short film.
It's really good.
Really great.
It was really good.
Better than anything Disney has done with Vader. Sort of.
Yeah. So what happened is he wanted to make a part 2. And he went and he kind of, went back and forth and kind of fought with Disney and stuff. And
Disney's like, no.
So
no.
They
Like he's like a dog.
They actually said, okay, they kind of came to an agreement. So what they did is they told him it was okay. His fan film was okay. They didn't have a problem with it.
Disney's like, we think your fan film is okay, but
Yeah.
it's not up to Disney's now.
Yeah.
So what they told him was that he just couldn't monetize it.
Bitch ass.
So he couldn't make money
Make no
off
money
of
back
it.
or
Well, he
anything.
didn't ask them for approval from using the IP, but it's a fan film.
Yes. So
Was
then
he,
he
was-
wanted.
Was he even trying to make money off of it?
Of course you're gonna invest.
Well, yeah,
A little bit.
but
It's
if
not
his
like he's
YouTube,
selling T-shirts of
if
it.
his
you know?
YouTube channel is monetized,
Okay, then he's making money.
then he's
off.
making money off
Because
of
they'll have
people
ads
watching
on the
it.
video.
Yeah.
Look, I
So-
play the audience and the listeners who don't know, so that's my role, and I don't.
Yeah. So he
So who's are pulling out because he's involved.
well no. So he made, like I said, he made the video and he told Disney I want to make a part 2. And they went back and forth about it and stuff, and he got Disney to agree to let him make a part 2.
I never saw the part 2.
It's not out yet.
Oh.
So he was working on it and then COVID hit.
Oh.
And COVID fucked everything up. So Disney's agreement with him was, okay,
Now it's
you
null
can
and void because major catastrophes null and void every single fucking contract ever.
yeah.
They
So-
absolutely do.
Just like when you sign up for Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, and you think you're buying a bunch of Disney bucks to
You
go
can never.
to the
Well,
land.
no.
No,
No,
and then
if
they go
you-
hey, no, you bought Disney Plus gift certificates.
If you sign up for
idiot.
Disney Plus, you agree that you will never sue them for anything ever.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lawsuit going on about that right now.
Well, my other email did not.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
can't. They can't do shit like that.
So
Sneak
that's
in
a
some
that's
shit
a
like
whole that's a whole other thing.
that. Yeah.
So Disney tells them, yeah, you can do it, but you cannot fundraise for this movie.
And we got you because you have Disney Plus.
So you can't actually solicit money. You can't ask for donations. No
I am Bobby
GoFundMe.
Igor.
Yeah. No GoFundMe or any of that shit for your new movie.
Damn.
Damn.
But they let him make it, and it would
Damn.
They allowed
They
him to
were-
crowdfund for it though, or something.
no crowdfunding.
No.
Wait,
he
so
has
crowdfund?
to.
So nobody
No.
could help him do it?
So he has to basically pay for it out of his own pocket. Now, he could sell his own T-shirts. He could sell Star Wars Theory T-shirts and use that money. He started doing Theory sabers,
What if he sells bootleg fucking Chinese knockoff Star Wars
CT
shit?
toys.
Ha.
Like something,
So he can do any
Marvel.
of that.
What if he rips off does a Marvel fan film? Disney could be like, what?
He could do anything else to raise the money, except he can't crowdfund from it. The money has to come from somewhere else.
I think that's bullshit. You can crowdfund for a different reason, but you can allude to the fact.
So
Because you're like,
politicians can.
hey, my name is Star Wars Theory. I'm crowdfunding for this piece of shit.
Yeah.
It's actually for a piece of shit. You will not receive a piece of shit, but it will be on my YouTube, and everyone's going to know.
Well,
They're going to know.
You know, in this country, Lord knows anybody can get funded for no matter what they do.
Yeah.
You know how many scams there are on Kickstarter and all that shit? People
Well, we're
doing
moving
all the
on,
video games and not video games, but board games. Board games are the hugest scam on fucking Kickstarter. To this
Board
day.
games?
Yeah,
What do you mean?
huge scam. People make these board games and they're based off other board games, and all they do is like just change the pieces, and it's cheap paper, cheap cardboard, whatever fuck, and the rules are like they're just stupid and dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they make all this money, like people go, oh, they're making a board game of this. I got to crowdfund this and send them
I
my
see what
money.
you're saying.
And that's all they do is like, oh, what's the next board game? What? And they
Like
have 3 or 4 of
SpongeBob
them at
Monopoly
one time.
or some shit, right?
Kind of, but they don't
Yeah.
use Monopoly. They call it something else,
Okay.
and it's like the same kind of rules.
Yeah, so like I said, he went back with Disney, and they came to their agreement. They actually worked on it, and worked it all out. And at one point, like Disney, was kind of backing him on some stuff, saying, "Oh no, it's okay." Like some people were kind of coming after him for some shit, as they always do, and Disney was on his side.
Well, I'll tell
And
you, like,
it's-
there's different departments at Disney, like, and some, like, are telling, so they have board meetings, and that's all the high up execs. And then there's, like, the lower people who are like, dude, we need to get these people on board with us. We need these people to promote Disney because we're not making a lot of money in the Star Wars department. So they want, like, these figureheads of the community, like Star Wars Theory and other people like that on board. But then the higher ups don't want them making all the fucking money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're not looking. They're looking at it and okay, it's going to help. Boost our the IP. People are going to watch his stuff, and they're going to be interested in stuff. But at the same time, they don't want him making the money from it.
Damn, they're
Right.
tripping on homie.
So like when he announced the part 2, like he was casting everybody. He was looking for Jedis. He wanted like gymnasts and stuff that could jump around and flip and all that
Sure,
shit.
yeah. You
and
need Jedis.
Yeah, that's what he wanted. And like I said, he was originally. I think his original budget for was like $250,000, and I think after a while
Damn.
it went up because he's like, I'm
That's
not
like
going to
half
do this.
a house in California.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not going to do this half-assed. Like he had like real special effects people to work on it and stuff. So he's been working on it. Don't know when it's ever going to come out, but and he's paying for it all himself.
Damn.
You have to imagine like how long it takes to film a scene. It takes you all day just to get one scene right, get all the sound right, get everything perfect. And then when you go back in editing, you're like, fuck, this is fucked up. We have to refilm this part.
Yeah, you got to
And so you have to get everyone back together for that
Yeah.
Or
one
reshoot.
little part.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, it's an astronomical amount of money, just to get all those people to show up, and then you try to get some of those people to show up for free,
Yeah.
Like, bro, I just can't pay you for,
Could you
right
please
now.
just come back and
I'll give
whatever.
you a back end deal,
Yeah.
please
And-
don't rape me.
And
you
the
know.
thing is, these guys, doing this, there's no money to be made. Is the
No.
thing.
That's
Right.
crazy that he's putting all this.
It's going on
effort in.
YouTube.
But that's a fan right there. That's a real fan. The dude is putting his money out there just to make something for other people.
The people that are working with them are fans.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Everybody that's involved in that project, those are real fans. These guys, they want to see Star Wars do better,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
and
And
that's
I think this is how, instead of like, people bitching online as a form of a formal protest and like, giving every Star Wars like a Rotten Tomatoes of a 0 fan service and like bomb rating that, I think the better way is to make a better film from the fans to Disney, and show them this
Yeah.
is what we want.
that's
That's a better form of protest. to me.
that's also we've talked about why I started my own toy show. I didn't like the way other people are doing it, so I was like, I'm going to do it myself.
You could be a Michael French and just sit there and bitch in front of a toy on the side and sound like you're taking a shit. Or you can do something positive, like have your own toy show and
Yeah.
show them how to do it better.
Take a shit.
That's what I'm trying to do.
I'm not knocking anyone here. Everyone's got a point of view, and so does Michael French. And,
Yeah.
and I agree with a lot of his. So let's move on.
Yeah. Make sure you listen to our last episode where we
I apologize, I think.
Yeah, we retro blast Michael French.
Gaslighting. Retro gaslighting.
Yeah, retro gaslighting was our last episode. So, like I was saying, he does this because he loves Star Wars. And, I wish we had more people doing that kind of stuff because the people that really love it and aren't looking to make money. He's not going to make any money from this. He's not, he can't monetize it in any way. It all has to come out of his pocket.
Here's what he should do. He should make the movie and spend all the money he can on it, and then post it on I've Got a Bad Feeling About This podcast YouTube. We will promote the shit out of it.
Oh, we will.
Yeah.
And then
I'll
it's
be
not
in it.
his bad thing. We take our orders from the Talking Walnut.
I'll be in it. I'll be in it for
Talking
free.
walnut.
All right. I'm going to send him a message.
You would think that this franchise that make money hand over fist every year wouldn't really give a fuck and maybe even support this type of shit.
You would think. Yeah. You would think.
Because all these kind of geek guys, you know, they spend a lot of money. They got a man cave at the house of Star Wars shit.
Oh, yeah.
So they dropped all their lives. They've been fans. So yeah, they gave their dime to Disney already.
So where do you think they're spending their money now? Not on Star Wars. They're watching the shows.
La Puga.
And
Yeah, dude, they're buying the bootleg stuff, so Disney's not getting the money.
they are watching the shows. You know, they're just hating on them or saying they're okay, but like they're not buying any more shit.
Yeah.
They have a whole fucking room, collector room, full of Star Wars hot toys,
Yeah.
fucking Black Series, TVC, you know, all kinds of shit, and they have them with lights and cool displays, and they probably don't have much more room for shit, but they're willing and open to buying more shit if it's cool,
Yep.
and especially if there's a good film about it. Maybe the Mandalorian film will be good, who knows? You know, I'm sure it'll be okay. You know, I don't think it's going to be a great thing.
I've got
A bad feeling about this, I know.
no, dude. I've got
I seen that coming.
I've got high hopes. I've got high hopes for the movie. I mean, I think
Why do we
it'll
need
do
a
really
movie
good.
though, man? Come on, the show is fine.
Yeah, the show was fine. Why do we need a movie to end it? Just for ticket value, to sales, to garner more engagement,
So
maybe?
they can put out more fucking Grogu plushies
Because
and shit,
no,
bro.
I think
they sell
because
well.
I think the Disney Plus platform is just isn't working for them.
It's not. No, it hasn't been. It's been losing money for a
So
long
that's
time.
what I'm saying. So I think they're better off by doing a theatrical release and making money off.
Oh,
of
you're
it.
saying they're not eating off of the show that they're doing on TV.
No.
Exactly.
Nope.
They would do better if it was like ticket sales instead.
Exactly. That's what I think. I think you have to find that balance. Like certain shows, like Andor, I think would probably do better as shows. I think The Mandalorian, you could have done Mandalorian as a trilogy if you think about
We
it.
live in
Book
a
of
day
Boba
and
Fett,
age.
definitely.
We live in a
Book-
day and age
definitely.
where
That shit was fire.
dude.
I really liked Book of Boba Fett,
I liked it too.
and I think
Ahsoka was
it had
good
its
too.
problems,
I think
but
you could finish Book of Boba Fett with the movie.
Yeah, why not?
I think so. Absolutely.
I think
because
so.
I
I
think
think so.
there's strong parts. of-
Ahsoka was good too, though.
Yes.
I liked it.
So, Dave Filoni is going to do a movie that's supposed to kind of wrap everything up.
I think the problem is we live in a day and age where shows are better than movies
Now,
nowadays.
yeah.
And they spend so much money on production for shows and everything like that that era of us watching TV at home and going, yo, that show is dope. Good, and it's not even all the effects, it's the actors and everything. All these movie actors are now doing shows.
Yup.
Yeah.
So this is a different age we live in, and look, you pay $9 a month for a streaming service, or I don't pay nothing, but still, everyone else does, and that's one movie ticket
Yeah.
for a whole household.
Yep.
So they're not making that much. So when you go to a
Right.
theater, you're getting at least $9 a person, unless you go.
Well, it's
Yeah,
not
exactly.
really. It's not exactly like that. The companies get money off the ticket sales. That's it.
But also,
Not
like,
only the
if you,
concessions and all
but
that
even
shit.
it's not.
Yeah.
It's not even like putting it in theaters. Look, if you put it on streaming and you have to pay $5 for the movie, then they would make their money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody, like you
But
just
nobody,
said,
I don't want to be at home and pay money.
I get you, man. I'm an old
you're
school
paying.
theater
Yeah,
guy
you're
too.
paying.
Yep.
Like you said, you're paying $5, and the whole family watches it. But if you're going to go to the
Right.
theater, you're going to be paying $50 now.
Yeah.
But to me,
And the theater makes a bunch of money too from popcorn because I got to get popcorn.
but
man.
being
I love
being in the theater, I think is an experience.
it is.
Yep.
It is different.
Yep.
Instead of just
It's always better.
Watching it at home is good, but
I can get the reaction of other people there with me, even though I hate them.
yeah, I recently went. It was a little while ago. I went and saw.
you turn your lightsaber down?
I saw Return of the Jedi in the theater, and it was a huge difference seeing it in the theater.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So like we were just talking now, the
Surround sound,
Revenge
all
of
that
the
shit.
Revenge of the Sith 30th anniversary's coming up.
I still hate it when they clap though. Like
Yeah,
no one's here for you to
I
hear
don't like
them
that.
clap.
I don't like people.
It's fun to go watch a comedy in a theater.
Yes.
Because everybody's laughing and shit.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
And
So-
I think maybe I want to see the Solo, a Star Wars story, the comedy cut, because that's what it was supposed to be. That dude was like making like Solo like Jim Carrey, you know. He's supposed to be hilarious, and I kind of want to see a Star Wars comedy that's not Jar Jar Binks.
You know, I never thought about that before, but a comedy set in Star Wars universe could be really funny.
Imagine this:
Bro,
they
no
did it with
way.
Star Trek with that cartoon, Lower Decks.
Oh, yeah.
That's a Star Trek comedy, but it's a cartoon. But still, like I think Star Trek has a more chance of being a comedy with live action rather than Star Wars, because Star Wars is like usually the blockbuster that has a little bit of everything, which is a problem I think with Star Wars. Like you can't have a show that has a little bit of everything unless it's like the kids show like they did recently. You know, that's fine.
Yeah, and that was really good. That was the type of thing that I think is better as a show. You know,
Yeah.
Skeleton Crew was really good. It worked as a show. I think Andor works as a show.
Yeah.
Certain stuff does work better as a show, and I think other things, could be done, as a movie.
I mean, Andor still has a big budget. They have some episodes like that are different from the others, which commands a bigger budget, bigger set. You know, like the Andor season 1 with the prison scene. That took a whole different set,
Yeah.
So that's a lot of money spent on just a show, which they're doing for every show nowadays. But you can't backtrack on that kind of like mentality now.
I think doing something like that where, you've got a show, you plan it, and then you'd be like, okay, we're going to do like 3 seasons, and we're going to end it with the movie. I think sometimes that might work.
Instead of fucking 2-3 good, decent, like fucking seasons with episodes with like and then end it with a movie, instead of giving us 5 drawn out bullshit seasons.
Exactly. I talk about shit like Stranger Things. Dude, they have drugged that shit out for so long.
And now the kids are like 35.
You probably could have ended that shit with the movie or something. Same thing, and been done. You, like I said, give us like 2-3 seasons. I mean, even one. If you do one season
And a
right,
dope
you
movie.
could set up a bunch of stuff and then do 2 movies afterwards.
Yep.
Lay the foundation with one season
Uh-huh.
of it, and then you can do 1 or 2
Where you
movies
set up
after.
everything in the season, and then you climax No Diddy in the movie.
Yeah.
If I
I
got
always
a
thought
hold
that
of
would
Star
work.
Wars, I would make it like this huge thing, and look, it would start off on a sand planet, and then there's
Dude,
some-
that's never been done before.
no, and I'd call it Jerk 2, which is the second jerk ass planet. It's also another sand planet. So there's a lot of sand planets. You guys just don't get it, okay?
All right. So getting back to Star Wars theory.
Yeah.
One of the most recent things that happened was during the Acolyte. Everyone was critical of that show.
I didn't finish it.
It
Me
sucked.
neither.
It just,
The only good episode was when the homeboy cut the young Jedi with the.
Like the whole
Yeah.
Jedi fight, yeah. And
Yeah.
then I didn't watch the next episode.
Me
That was
neither.
like the pinnacle. And
I think
was
I got
like,
one
it can't
more.
get better than that.
I think
That
I got
was it.
one more in after that, and then it's when the twins like switched roles.
yeah.
She put the helmet on or something.
Yeah, and I was like, "Ah."
So,
way over.
he was very critical of it. And there was a part in the show where you see one of the Jedis, Kiadi Mundi.
You're talking about Star Wars theory here.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I'm just talking about the Acolyte in general. So,
No, but Star Wars theory was really critical about a certain moment.
oh yeah, well, kind of. He was talking, he was critical of the Acolyte the entire show.
Who isn't?
Just like I said, everybody was.
Yeah.
So in the
Super
show,
critical.
In the show, there's a Jedi, Kiadi Mundi, who was in Revenge of the Sith,
Yes.
and he was in all the prequels,
And
right?
This is old school. Right?
So, but he shouldn't be that old to be in the Acolyte, which is supposed to be, hundreds of years before.
right.
So, Wikipedia,
Doesn't he say something in the original prequels that
Yes, the
that
Sith have been-
discounts what he says in
he says
the
the
new
Sith
series.
have been extinct for a millennia.
Right.
So,
Damn.
Sorry guys, I fucked up. I'm a conehead.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, there's no way they could have been extinct for a millennia if he knew about them. So what is it? Is he lying then? It's
They
just
do travel
bad.
in twos.
So
We clocked the fifth floor at 32 miles per hour. Spared no expense.
So Wikipedia went and changed the information about his age and birth date to line up with the acolyte.
But who owns Wikipedia?
Wikipedia is basically like Wikipedia.
So anyone can edit it?
Anybody could go
Who's
in
got
and
some
edit
credit?
it, I think. Yeah. So somebody went and did it, and he called them out. And he's like, what the
Bullshit.
fuck? This is bullshit.
Right, you can't change that.
So he
You have
called...
to put the fallacy in there with it, like the asterisk.
Yeah,
Fallacy.
he called them out.
Isn't that a limp dick?
I like phallic words.
Yeah.
No, fallacy
Fallacy.
is
Yeah.
fallacy, false.
Fallacy.
The fallacy came out of his mouth.
No,
So
Diddy.
he called them out, and then people started getting on him about that, and then saying like he was threatening people over it,
God
and he's
damn,
like,
bro.
dude, that never happened. Literally making shit up.
I only told the guy to do it.
Yeah. So he was calling himself, dude. This is he was calling it like this is revisionist, and we're changing canon and all that stuff, and certain people were jumping on him about it, saying that he like he was telling people to go after Wikipedia, like he was telling his followers to comment and like attack them, and that never happened.
Are you saying he never said, like, hey, guys, help me out?
No, he didn't.
Because that's not I could see if you said, like, hey, help me out,
No,
like,
he just said that. He just said what happened and
okay.
called
but
them
then
out.
his listeners and followers probably helped out.
Oh,
He didn't tell them
I'm
to.
sure.
You don't have to tell people
But
to.
then
You
they were
just-
saying
you
that
have a
he
follower.
was having his people attack them.
He was
and
instrumental
That's not
in it.
what happened. He
Instrumental.
never said anything.
Another big word.
And
It's a phallic word.
yeah, he had to do a whole
Revenge of the fallacy.
Is
he
it a
had to do
power
a
I
whole
can
thing
learn?
about it.
Not from a Jedi.
Yeah. So he had to do a whole thing about it and be like, dude, look, I never said to go after them. I never, said anything.
And that
about
sucks when
that.
like you're a big YouTuber and you have to go back and say, I did not tell my fans to do this.
Yeah.
I did not say anything. You guys are morons for saying I have to
But
do
you
this.
know,
and
I
it's
mean-
stupid that I have to do this video.
And then you
Yes.
actually, your listeners turn around and go, why the fuck is he apologizing for us
Right.
having his back?
I would not apologize.
Yeah.
I'm not apologist.
Well, he didn't apologize.
No
He was just
fallacy in
like,
that.
yeah, he's just like, I never said that. He's all, it's bullshit that someone's making up these lies.
That's a fallacy, sir.
I don't like fallacies. Sand.
These fallacies are coarse. They get everywhere.
You got to find the right ones. Yeah. Maybe clone them.
I'm a fallacito. From Palito.
Misa, put the fallacy in your mouthies.
All right, I'd like to, apologize for my listeners, namely Cobra Dad.
And if you guys go out there and change Wikipedia, that's on you. I'm not telling you to do it.
every time
Do
Cobra
it.
comes on the show, we go off the rails. So
I'm known to
Wait,
do
but
that,
you,
bro.
you guys brought rails? I didn't get any.
Oh,
that's why. That's what.
nerd.
Hey, I don't want.
Sorry,
I
Star
don't-
Wars podcast. I mean Spice.
I didn't want to put Cobra on blast.
Because
Yeah, why?
one of our
Who would
main
wanna do
heroes
that?
Yeah.
is a spice dealer. So my spice smuggler. Okay, we love drug dealers in Star Wars.
Yeah,
I'm
and
just-
real life too.
I'm just pointing out
Yeah.
the fallacies of Star Wars.
Especially good little hot ones.
Inside joke.
Yeah, sweet ass.
Jesus.
Oopsie.
Hey, not.
Cool. I'm at the club where they. It's okay.
Listen in the jizz.
Love jizz. I think he plays a fallacy.
Because I have a thermal detonator.
One of those aliens plays a fallacy. I'm pretty sure it's called that.
Yo, the piano blue dude, his nose is a fallacy.
He's a fucking elephant.
Max Rebo.
Yeah.
He knows names.
Yeah, dude, you didn't know Max Rebo? I knew Max Rebo. He's still like the head of the band.
It's literally the Max Rebo
They
band.
changed
Yeah.
it to that green lizard dude, huh?
No, dude, like sings later. Ah!
Yeah.
No,
Stupid.
they added him, but it's always been the Max Rebo band.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, like jazz, but it's jizz. Anyone can go up there who knows jizz, could play some jizz.
Yeah.
And they just jizz all over the place, and they just
There's jizz
together,
everywhere.
you know?
Dude, there was jizz all over Jabba's palace.
Dude, and they didn't even incorporate jizz fingers. He's a known dude.
That's why.
I heard in Jabba's palace they found like 100 lube bottles.
No.
Jabba no butter.
Dude, he just spits in a tube. You seen the thing? You seen the thing he was sucking on?
Yeah. Was that crack?
Space crack,
Yeah, it was spice. It was this
Spice.
spice hookah.
but it was liquefied.
I'm
Yeah.
a mog.
No, the liquid was where he
Man,
kept
that
the frog.
Man, I never did it. No, officer, that is not mine. That is my wife's.
An escalator can never break. It just becomes stairs.
I was only going to Tashi Station for a real quick droid depot thing, and that's it.
After I received the Republican credits.
No, this is for shooting womp rats.
Yeah. All right, I think we went off, off topic just enough.
All right, let's
So this whole thing, it kind of brings up the whole, like us versus them mentality in the Star Wars, community.
Yeah.
Stuff we
that's
constantly
huge.
talk about, how it's always split, there's always like two groups.
Yeah, Jedi and
Always.
Sith.
And yeah, exactly.
But I think that's what causes views on YouTube. You have to be hatred towards the product. Like, you don't have
But
to, but
yes.
like you have to have like a formidable point of view on why they're doing is bad, and just to get views, and you have to have a good credible point. And I'm not saying their point is not credible.
I mean, that's what we do here.
But
But
can't
we have
all just watch the same shit and get
we have
along?
we have no,
cannot.
but we have no credible points at all on this show. We
Absolutely
just,
not.
We just make shit up and
Right.
we're
We-
clods.
We watch everything and we have our own opinions, but we rather opinionate on other people's opinions.
Exactly.
That's what the show's about. I don't have a good feeling about it. But.
Yeah. I don't think our fans do either. So,
Oh, we're busted now.
we're in trouble.
Fuck.
The fig
Pass
wife.
that chicken, bruh.
Can I start the dishwasher?
Yeah, I think we're good. I had a leak underneath my house, and I've been under there.
Oh, that's right.
Forever,
Yep.
and it.
Is
Dude,
it coming into the house?
Dude, it's like Tatooine if it rained
I've
all
got
the time.
I've got a
Muddy
bad
as fuck.
feeling about your plumbing.
Well, I put an easy fix on it, and it took some spice later.
This fool used some Gorilla Glue on that
And
shit.
she's like, "Why don't you go into the house again?" And I go, "Onta, tonta."
Yeah. So,
No bother, Jabba, no bother.
all right. I hope one day we have enough fans that, we have to deal with the same thing. I mean, I already know people
Hell
don't
yeah.
like us. People hate us.
That would be fire, though.
Oh yeah, I would love that.
We have an equal amount.
Oh yeah, we're
We're like the balance between the Force, dude,
exactly.
Yeah.
and that's what we need to be. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I lost my leg, and I got a robot one now.
All right.
What
Thank
robot
you.
war? Oh, you got a robot
leg.
one.
You got a
Yeah,
robot
yeah.
leg.
What robot war?
It's a
were you?
droid leg. Actually, it's not robot. Excuse me. It's a droid leg.
Yeah, droid.
Okay.
Yeah. It's flesh tone, too.
When do you become full
right.
droid? Do you have to be 75% droid, or can you just
Dude.
have your brain and just
You just need your lungs in your brain, like Grievous.
like Grievous? Like he still
Yeah,
has
but he
his
was he was a
lungs?
cyborg, so
He was at once,
But he
right?
was a biological, like, being. Like
and then he transitioned
Yeah, yeah.
into a
Yeah.
cyborg.
and he still smokes cigarettes.
Oh, shit.
All right. So, I think before we fuck up this show anymore, I think we should probably call it a day.
All right, easy to do.
Yeah.
It's your fault. Blame him, guys.
yeah. I thought it would be a good idea to bring Cobra out
Just
here
blame
with
it on
me,
me,
but
man. Fuck
yeah,
it.
Yeah, that's what we all do. We all blame it.
I'm
we all
used to
blame
it.
it on
It's
on
all your
him.
power of the Force
If,
shit.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
if you
I'm
guys
used to
want
it.
to see exactly how bad Cobra is, be sure to tune into his show, The Weekly Habit Unlimited, every
get it
Wednesday
after that.
night.
Yeah, you'll get it.
Every Wednesday night on YouTube.
He's still looking for that muscle-bound Luke.
Yeah. You know,
I think we had a wrestling
Wait,
match,
that's
and he was
that's
involved.
Dagobah Luke.
if you want to, if you got some Power of the Force figures that you want to get rid of and donate, you know, to a less fortunate person,
I'll take
just
the
let us
bantha if
know,
you have it.
and I will send you Cobra's address.
Yes, sir. I'm down to. I'll take everything, man. Fuck it.
And all did he?
In the name of
he
the
meant
Galactic Senate of the
That was
Republic,
wild.
you're
I'll
under
take
arrest.
anything.
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
Yep.